Pretty much. Pretty much. Hey, y'all, gravity. Any day above ground living. I'm sorry, I was talking to my wife about something. Might as well just start with this because I'm sure you'll probably see it later. They say the streets are saying Jimmy Buffett, Mr. Margaritaville has passed away. I just checked on Twitter. It's true. So, it is what it is. RIP to his family and friends. I mean, if you want to talk about music, he was an icon. Again, he created Margaritaville, things like that. All right. We got that. We got to talk about this, family. Oh, yes. I'm going to give y'all a rule to tell people. Do not put stuff up and let me catch it. Because if I catch it and I like it, I'm going to start looking. And when I start looking, I find things. And when I find things, Lord have mercy, I bring it to the family. Because again, we are in the thralls of the 2024 election cycle. Everybody, again, wants to be the first voice that everybody hears. The grift is real. We'll just say that. The grift is real. The grift is real. And y'all see who's on the thumbnail. Y'all probably don't know this person. Hell, I didn't even know this person. But this person went somewhat viral on Twitter over something that she said about Jacksonville that I think you guys should pay particular attention to. But before we start, let's see who is in the building. Hello, Stream Elements Bot. I usually don't say hi to you, but I'm going to say hi to you this morning. Denise Scales, good morning. Project Leroy, good morning. B1 to you. Maxwell Jenkins, B1 to you, and good morning. Yes, thank you, Project Leroy, for the confirmation. Yes, Jimmy Buffett has transitioned. Again, RIP to his people. Blacklight Revelations, hello. If you're not subscribed to Blacklight, you know what to do. I don't need to say it. St. Louis, hello. And Shamika Gray, hello. Make sure you hit the share button, the like button, and make sure your people know that I exist. Do me a favor when you do this, though. Use your text messages, because I know y'all got people y'all text on the daily. Send it over. That's how I grow. That's how I grow. But let's get into it, family. We have to show the clip. We have to show the clip. For context, of course, we have to show the clip. I believe it's this one. Yes, we have to show the clip. Fair use. Fair use.
Since 1963, but it's
Hang
obvious
on.
that racism still is a big issue, and it is something that we need
I'm
to.
going to start over.
We've made as a country a lot of progress since 1963, but it's obvious that racism still is a big issue, and it is something that we need to work on eliminating these tribalist ideas that people have that certain races are better than other races.
Yeah.
I think that one thing in the reporting of this story that has been frustrating for me is how people that I have seen on the news have been taking this man who has this terrible tribalist idea of race and believes that Black people are inferior, and they're turning around and saying that this is because of his race, and are saying that it's because he is white, or because he is a man, or because he is a gun owner, or kind of putting him into these groups and trying to demonize these entire groups because of this man's actions. Don't take the responsibility off of him by trying to blame people around him and trying to blame these other groups that had nothing to do with him and his issues and his own thoughts that he is responsible for himself.
Okay, ma'am. I think the family's got some questions. I think the family has some questions. Neiman Lucas, good morning. I think the family's got some questions, ma'am. And I want you guys to audit me today, family. I'm not going to do my usual. I'm just going to go in on this young lady because I think this young lady, there's something about this young lady. There's a power there, but it's just got hooked into the wrong people because the people that she's associated with, I got a little problem with them too. We're gonna talk about them in a little while, but if she was on code, we could vibe with her if she was on code. Yes, I'm already declaring it. She's off code. Ma'am, how dare you? And again, I'm not going to insult her. I'm not going to do that here today. I'm actually going to give the younger generation a bit of grace. Ma'am, how dare you? This man was radicalized from a teenager. Ma'am, we saw the research. Ma'am, he registered with the Republican Party when he was 15. Ma'am, 15. Florida is a red state. Florida is a stand your ground state. Florida loves them some guns. Nothing wrong with that. But when you come from a background radicalized like that, you cannot, I repeat, you cannot sit on a video in front of a Yeti mic and try to say that it's tribalism, not the individual. Okay? Because I guarantee you, you would not say this if Dylan Roof had done what he did last Saturday. You would not be saying this. Okay? We're not playing these games anymore with y'all. You want to be new conservative darlings? We're not doing this. Okay? We've peaked the game. They don't bring the straight-haired conservatives around anymore because we've peeped them out. We got them off the block quick. So now what they're doing is they think they're going to get somebody that looks like Sister Girl from the neighborhood to start talking like this, talking about some, oh, I dug into her background family. Caveat, she is LGBT. Caveat, she said she grew up as a tomboy. She likes Star Wars and things that her conservative parents and the white people whose school that she went to did not approve of. I don't give a damn about that. Ma'am, you still responsible for your words as an adult. Who paid you and or who wrote this script for you? Because I'm looking at you talking and I don't believe a damn word you said. You don't even believe a damn word you said. But it's funny, family, that they want us to believe what she's saying. I feel you on that. We have a little bit of a problem, though.
Get that water. He about to get this work.
It's funny you're telling us how to react and how we should look at the situation in Jacksonville, and you want to even blame the news. I could be 40% there with you because the news, they like to spin the shit. Question, you're on a podcast platform. Why the hell didn't you say anything like this last year when them kids in Uvalde got killed? I'm sure you would never go tell La Raza how they should view that situation. It's funny you didn't say that. Why not tell Matthew McConaughey's hometown how to react to a situation of children being deleted by some asshole? We got questions here. We like to keep it even here on Beyond Borders Media and the New Black Media. We like to do that. I will give you credit, though. Tabernacle. You didn't say this last year either because you know you'd have got cooked. We would have cooked you. You wouldn't have been in this position a year later. You kept Buffalo out your mouth. We're going to give you respect on that. Very little. But we gonna give you applause. That's all the applause you get. It's so interesting that they love doing this. They love to do this. They love to police black people. We not here to be policed, ma'am. How we feel is how we feel. Okay? Because it's getting tiring now. We're over it. So there was that. And then again, we start going down these rabbit holes. Let me get this Larry Sharp thing out the way first. Let me get that out the way before I start playing some videos of her really talking, and who I seem to believe is the mouthpiece here. Now, family, I know the name I just said, Larry Sharp. You might not remember who that is. I had done a video on him last year while he was running for governor of New York. And I got at him because he had a lot to say about reparations. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play my video of him talking about reparations. And then I'm going to play a video of Miss Kiyah Willis. That's the name of the girl that you just saw. She talked to this man, and I want y'all to listen to what she said as she was talking to this man. Here we go. This is his zero-cost reparations plan proposed by Black libertarian Larry Sharp has mass appeal. Who wrote this? They don't know punctuation, but okay. This was written by Edward Hofer, so he didn't even write this. All right. And that was Friday, February 26, 2021. And according to his site, that's the last time he put something up was last February. Okay. Cash reparations can be harmful. This 4-point plan for black ownership can amend past injustices, according to 2018 candidate for New York Governor Larry Sharp. Now, like I said before, he's also running again in 2022. And he goes into talking about reparations for slavery, how it was a broken promise at the end of the Civil War. A reparations program should last a generation, about 23 years, and according to Larry Sharp, the 2018 Libertarian candidate for governor of New York and host of The Sharp Way. During that time, the following actions would help right a wrong, support more ownership culture in the black community, encourage integration. Are we not integrated right now, sir, or are you living back in the 60s? Are we not integrated now, or are you living back in the 50s? The 40s, the 30s, the 20s, the 10s, slavery. Are you insane, sir? But okay, let's see. All property owned 51% or more by African descendants of slaves, ADOS, so he must be identifying as ADOS, incur half property tax regardless of local laws, residential, commercial, primary, or investment. This encourages long-term investments as well as ownership and partnerships with the ADOS community. All business owned 51% or more by ADOS incur half property tax regardless of local laws. This encourages short-term investments and profit schemes as well as partnerships with the ADOS community. All transfers of wealth to family members within the ADOS community is free regardless of taxes or fees. This encourages transfers of it's supposed to be generational wealth, Edward Hofer, down the family line, as well as up to older family members that may not want to engage in commercial activity. 4, end the war on drugs and expunge all drug possession and selling convictions, giving millions of ADOS a real second chance at life. Reparations can be a divisive issue, and we need to find a solution that supports reconciliation and reconnection. Okay. According to Sharp, many Republicans and Democrats have expressed support for the plan when they heard it in full. The solution would not cost taxpayers directly. The encouragement to invest, start business, and partner with the community would create large boosts to the economy and in particular the black community. This is exactly what the black community and all American communities need, according to Sharp. This means encouraging ownership, and this can be sped up through property and business advantages granted to ADOS and an end to the war on drugs. I'm not going to give y'all an opinion on this. I'm going to let y'all sound off on it. I'm just here delivering this now. I want y'all to pay attention to this paragraph. Cash payments can actually create long-term harm, as seen with lottery winners and structured settlement recipients. In the long term, Sharp believes that we must deal with a huge problem in the Black community: the lack of generational wealth and ownership. Rapper and activist Killer Mike says that trying to live off Black businesses is damn near impossible. If we create both, it will benefit Black families and Black communities. And all right, so that was that video. I just wanted to give y'all some context on how Larry Sharpe thinks. YouTube proof. Y'all are gonna love this. Y'all finna love this. I get it. These older Blacks are starting to prey on the younger ones. I get this. Tabernacle. So apparently there was something called Freedom Fest down in Memphis. Shout out to Memphis. Freedom Fest. Would y'all like to know what Freedom Fest is? Of course y'all do. Freedom Fest, this is their mission statement. At Freedom Fest, we envision a world where every person experiences maximum liberty in every aspect of their lives. Freedom Fest is the annual festival where free minds, where have we heard that term from, family? Who did we hear that from? Y'all could write it in the live chat. Freedom Fest is the annual festival where free minds meet to celebrate freedom in an open-minded environment. It is independent, nonpartisan, and not officially affiliated with any organization or think tank. Got to make sure to tell them it's not a think tank. Really quick. That tells me a lot. That tells me a lot. And before we continue, thank you for the $20 super chat. I appreciate that. But for the future, everybody, especially the family, Cash App would be great so I could get all the money. But thank you again for digging into your wallet and giving to the show so I can help the baby get toys. B1 homie, a non-FBA tether despising immigrant rioter here. B1 family, keep your proverbial foot on their necks. You call out your coons while we too quiet with our tether sellouts. Keep it up, bro. Yes, we will try out here. And thank you also for becoming a member. It's only 99 cents. Help me to get the bit toys. And Maxwell Jenkins, thank you for becoming a member as well. I will start to put exclusive content this month. I promise you. I will start doing that before everybody else sees it. But yes, George Stephanopoulos. Yes, Mr. I got smacked by Dutch Schultz back in the day for saying wrestling is fake and his anti-Black stances. Yes. That tells me a lot who you like to have up. Oh, you're going to like this. Anthem Film Festival. I can just imagine what they're screening there. 10 breakout sessions at a time. That's a lot of humanity. Punching Up Comedy Festival. Oh, I'm sure they be talking about woke, trying to make jokes. Yoga and breakfast in the morning. Huh? Politics. Wait a minute. Hang on. Let me back this up real fast. Family, that's what I'm talking about. You see how they try to snow us? Family, did I not just read? It is independent, nonpartisan, and not officially affiliated with any organization or think tank. Question, Freedom Fest and whoever runs this, if you're not nonpartisan, why are you asking politicians, candidates, and policymakers to show up? Let's just say you have this here, right? I'm done. Y'all don't believe me. I'm going to go back up again. It is not officially affiliated with any organization or think tank. Why do y'all have this here? Brooklyn Queen 125. Thank you for becoming a member as well. You helped me get a bit more toys.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man. Now y'all going too far, man. You going too far, man.
White supremacy is devious, family. Devious. They think, I swear, I think white supremacy every day at a certain point. You know how people at certain points in the day, if they're into that, they meditate at certain times of the day. You have those of the Islam religion, they meditate, they pray 5 times a day. We have Christians out there that pray to God at certain times during the day. I swear, I think white supremacy gets up and listens to that Chris Rock black people verse N-word skit. I think they all do this at a certain time. How in the hell you gonna tell the world, you're not affiliated with a think tank, but you invite think tanks. You're not affiliated with any politicians. You're nonpartisan, and then you have politicians there. Can somebody explain this to me? Explain it to the family. And of course, you got to make sure you have live music, dancing, networking, receptions, and karaoke at our after hours events, of course, because everybody got to try to smash after this event, for liberty. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy.
What the hell?
What the hell? What the?
Fam. Wow, thank you. We found the mascot. Oh, yes. Family. I know you can't really see that. I'm going to blow it up a little bit more. Look who they had on the stage. Look who they had on the stage. Where is it? Where is that picture? No, you didn't. Don't you get rid of that picture. Bring that picture back here. Wait, let me go back a little bit. Bring that picture back here. Where is it? That's the top. Where is it? You bastards. You took it away. Why did you take it away? Where is it? There you go. Fam. I guess I could only do it here. Fam, look who is there. Look who is there. Yes, that is John Stossel, the fake report. I'm sorry, I said George Stephanopoulos. I'm sorry. John Stossel. Thank you, Ricky Jones. And good morning. Sun-kissed by the Most High. Good morning. Look at it. Look who showed up. Look, it's the Mezegoon. It's the Mezegoon. Yo, damn it, man. If I was off code, making how much money I'd have right now. Damn it. But I got scruples. Boy. Jesus Christ. Oh, man, no. You gotta have the husband and wife team. These are some ugly white people. Why does Matt Day, this Matt Day person, why does he look like Sabretooth before he fully transformed into Sabretooth? I have a question. Why does Matt Day, the fourth person on the first row, look like Sabretooth before he really became Sabretooth? Like when they did their interpretation, Fox's interpretation of Wolverine and his backstory. He looks like him. Autumn Sakosin. Oh, that must be their daughter. All right, so it's a family affair. Who else? Haley Aragona, don't know who you are. Ned Piplovic, don't know you. Noran Dillon, don't know you. Regina Brand, gotta have one. Brenda Larson, don't know you. John Mackey from Whole Foods. I love Freedom Fest. Wonderfully interesting people and nonstop intellectual stimulation. The debates are great. Keep them coming. Okay. Okay. And they got testimonials. Who's this? Thank you to our partners. We're delighted to work with and recommend these highly professional partners. The Yin Yang Group, graphic designers. Okay. Main task, IT and website development. Grows Live Productions. Okay. Only 3. All right. Say less. All right. There you go, family. Just off the beaten path a little bit, but I want to make sure y'all get everything. I want to make sure y'all get everything. Let's go to her and Larry Sharp. It's YouTube proofed, correct? Yes. Fair use.
As having amazing conversations, talking about things like human respect, talking about ethics and morals. And today I have with me the one and only Kiyah Willis. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Please tell me about yourself.
Hi. Yes, I am a fellow at Objective Standard Institute. I work in educating young people on philosophy for freedom and flourishing, and I'm very active on social media, trying to communicate these ideas to young people through Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, things like that.
There we go. I love that. So what you're doing on a daily basis is kind of persuading people.
Yes.
Right? Trying to get people to say, hey, this is a better way of thinking, a better way of doing things like that.
Yes.
And I think most people think that's a better way of doing things, right? Better than using, say, coercion, better than using either violence or threat of violence,
Yes.
Theft or fraud.
Yes.
But is there a time when we should use coercion? At what point do we make that step? And the reason why I asked that question is there's a difference kind of between, if you look here, between your values and your ethics.
Whoa, what do you mean? Whoa, I might have to downgrade a little bit, family. I want to make sure y'all heard what he just asked this girl. Ask it again, Larry.
Coercion, better than using either violence or threat of violence,
Yes.
Theft or fraud.
Yes.
But is there a time when we should use coercion? At what point do we make that step? And the reason
Huh? Wait a minute. What? Sir, when did you record this? 11 days ago. So you did this during that Freedom Fest. Negro, y'all haven't figured out that coercion just does not work, or we just say screw it. You coercing people into how you think has been backfiring on y'all since y'all tried it. From the first day the ancestors were put here, along with the indigenous people that were already here, y'all tried to coerce them into doing what you wanted, and that's backfired miserably on you. Now you're here in 2023 asking if coercion is good. You know what? I cut you off. I actually want to hear her answer. Let me hear what you're saying.
why I asked that question is there's a difference kind of between, if you look here, between your values and your ethics.
Yes.
Right? People can be more conservative or they can be more progressive.
Yes.
But the question is, when do you decide to kind of abandon human respect and then use coercion to move what you want forward? And usually in politics, if you're more progressive and you want to use coercion, you're Democrat. If you're more conservative, coercion, Republican.
Damn, they be preying on the youth. How you gonna ask this girl that question? She ain't lived long enough. Damn, they be preying on the youth. I see it.
But human respect should be on both sides.
Yes.
When do you think it's okay to kind of not use it and go towards coercion? Is there a time?
Well, I don't think that human respect and coercion necessarily are in conflict with each other when you're talking about things like harm per se,
Harm,
right?
okay, got
So,
it.
for example, yeah, I think that if we're going to have a government, then the purpose of the government should be to prevent people from harming each other. And I think that in that sense, yeah, using force is needed. But when you're talking about ideas and you're talking about values and culture and things, absolutely persuasion is the better way to go about doing things, right? Because
So you're saying it's okay to use coercion in response to coercion.
exactly.
Okay,
exactly.
got it. Okay.
What? Huh? Use coercion against coercion? Use coercion against coercion. How about I walk away from all of you? Coercion against coercion. Hey, family. She's so smart. She has the right answer. Might as well, right? Might as well go down that. This is like a remix of The Lesser of Two Evils. They want us to be like this here. We ain't got that kind of time. Yes, there's a fine line between coercion and persuasion. We understand this, but what? maybe we think different here, family, because we don't coerce you to think how we want you to think or what's right. We don't do that. We just sit it in your lap. You can decide if you want to partake of the information that we give and, move judiciously out here, move more aware. But people like this here, coercion versus coercion, this is what we're doing. This is why these ideological spectrums are not respected. What is you gonna ask this girl, because she got to be in her early to mid 20s? You gonna ask her a question like that you old farts can't even answer? All right, we continue.
That's what you're saying.
Yes.
But if you're not being coerced upon,
Yeah.
you should be coercing.
Yes.
Okay, got it. All right.
What?
Let's try something that I think may be a little bit more challenging.
Okay.
Let's think about, what about if it is, say,
Really quick before I play the video, Larry Sharp, you claim you're a libertarian and you are in for coercion. Boy, man, they just be. Oh my God, a libertarian for coercion. Oh my good God. I'm gonna just let that rack in your brain for a minute. Continue.
protecting the country, in this case, from bad guys.
Bad guys.
Right? And the bad guys are, in this case, maybe they're people who don't believe in our values. Right? They are people, communists. Right? When I was young, growing up, there was the Soviet Union, and the Soviet Union was bad. Shouldn't we use coercion to stop the communists from taking over a country or something like that? Shouldn't we then use coercion in that regard? Shouldn't we? Isn't it okay at that point to use coercion?
To eliminate the idea of communism?
Sure.
No.
Okay.
No, right? I think people should have absolutely the freedom to explore as many ideas as possible, try to understand them the best that we can. I don't think that communism holds up when you think about it for more than a few minutes. And,
Okay.
try to understand what the results of it actually are. So yeah, I think that if you're trying to get rid of the idea of communism, then persuasion is 100% the way that you're going to do so. I don't think that
So
you can.
even if this ideology is 100% against an ideology that you believe in,
Yeah.
right? Still no coercion.
Still no coercion.
Okay.
I don't think that you can force someone into changing their mind about something.
Okay.
I can't go into your head and force you to maneuver your brain, right? The only way that I can change your mind with something is by persuasion, is by talking to you. I can force you maybe not to talk about it, but I can't force you to change your mind.
Got it.
You can force me to not talk. Say that again. I just want to make sure I don't want to misquote you. Say that again.
Someone into changing their mind about something,
Okay.
I can't go into your head and force you to maneuver your brain, right? The only way that I can change your mind with something is by persuasion, is by talking to you.
So you can't force me into the conversation, but you can persuade me to see your line of thinking. I want y'all to listen to how they're talking, family. It's not the words that they're saying that are inherently bad. I want you to listen to the way how they structure their sentences. You're responding to this question by leading with force. And you wonder why people don't respect y'all out here in these streets. Why are you talking about forcing people to have conversations they don't want to have, to then talk about, oh, I wouldn't mind persuading them? Ma'am, no disrespect. You sound like Vivek right now. He's trying to force people to listen to him, but then claims he want to have these debates. He wants to have these conversations. And every time he has these conversations, he looks a slack mess. Ma'am, you sat here with this man, and this man is preying on you. I'm sorry to say it. And I'm going to show you the reason why he's preying on you. He knows damn well all that you're saying here. He may believe it. He ain't going to come up here and someone like me or Jason Black or Tariq or somebody that's not easily fooled and try to spin this crap on us. It ain't going to work. Hell, ma'am, I'm sorry. I'm going to push you to the side a little bit. Larry Sharpe wouldn't have said none of this shit in front of a black man at your age. Because even a black man at your age, something's going to click in his mind that what you kind of saying is not true. I mean, I may believe some of it, but I'm going to push back a little bit on the other stuff. She's just sitting here just following it. And this is the weapons that white supremacy likes to throw out at us during election time. And then here come all the white people and all the non-blacks. Yay, she's so nice. She knows what the pulse of this country is. She gets it. I told y'all, family, one more year and this conservative grift is dead. Even if Trump wins, this conservative grift has no scruples. They have no morals. And people, even people on their side are starting to see it. They're not going to fuck with them after this election. I promise you. I promise you. You're going to see the shift change. Mark my words. If Trump gets back in, even if he gets back in, that's what everybody on their side wants. Give it about a week. And they're going to start talking about them liberals, and they're going to start talking about them woke people, which is code for us. And their crowds are going to start getting tired of it. Because they'll be like, okay, we won. Let's talk about moving the country forward. We don't want to hear about them black folk no more. What else you got for me? Bank that. And they're going to start getting tired. And you're going to start seeing their views slowly start going down. Mark my words. But go ahead. Go ahead, Larry Shaw. Continue praying on the youth.
To you. I can force you maybe not to talk about it, but I can't force you to change your mind.
Got it. Okay, so recently there's been something in the courts now with affirmative action. Same idea, right?
Here we go.
Don't I want to use coercion to make more diversity? In this case, in the diversity case, I'm not defending myself against an ideology, but I'm in my mind doing the right thing, right? I'm trying to make things better. Yeah. I want to make the country better. I want to make people happier. So I want to use coercion.
Yeah, how's that working out, Larry? You made people happier with affirmative action going. How's that working out, Larry? I think Kenny Zhu would like a question for you. Huh? I think you need to go talk to them Asians one time. They're getting ran through the ringer right now. White folk are right now looking at each other, talking about something. How are we gonna get rid of this? How are we gonna take our money out of these schools? How are we gonna do it legally? But okay. You right. Torian, you know what you done started. You know what you done started. Why you do that? Oh, y'all, blame Torian Rain for what I'm about to do. Money on his Cash App and say, why'd you make Kid Gravity do that? Torian be playing games out here in these streets, boy. Where's the video?
So that you will hire who I say you'll hire, who I say you'll hire, or you'll put people in your business who I say you'll have in your business, because my goal is a lofty, good goal. So my intent is good in this case. How about that? Is coercion good then? Because my intent is good.
Well, I think you said your intent is more diversity.
Yes.
I mean, in affirmative action, it's diversity of skin color, right? Yes. And is that a good thing though? Like,
in my mind, when I'm creating the law, the rule, of coercion, in my mind, yes, right. I'm doing it because I believe it's a good thing. Yes. So my intent is good.
Yeah, but I would say that you're wrong, right?
Okay.
So
okay.
I don't think that the diversity on the basis of skin color, it's not good for, I'd say, society, universities, for you as an individual, right?
And there it is. I tried to give her grace, family. I tried. When I heard this last night, I tried. This was before I heard this. I was like, I'm going to get this girl grace. Y'all even heard me this morning say, I'm going to go get this girl grace. I can't give her grace after that. I can't do it. I'm sorry. I can't do it after this. That response, you go to the gulag. You are going to the gulag. We're going to play it again, family. We're going to play it again. But I blame Tori and Rain for what I'm about to do.
A good goal. So my intent is good in this case. How about then? Is coercion good then? Because my intent is good.
Well, I think you said your intent is more diversity.
Yes.
Here we go. I blame Tori and Rain for what I'm about to do. Put money on his Cash App.
How about then? Is coercion good then? Because my intent is good.
Well, I think you said your intent is more diversity.
Yes.
In affirmative action is diversity of skin color, right?
Yes.
I mean, is that a good thing though? Like,
In my mind, it is.
in
Right?
your mind,
When I'm creating the law of the rule of coercion, in my mind, yes, right. I'm doing it because I believe it's a good thing. Yes. So my intent is good.
Yeah, but I would say that you're wrong, right?
Okay.
So
Okay.
I don't think that the diversity on the basis of skin color, it's not good for, I'd say, society, universities, for you as an individual, right? So I think that intent in that case doesn't matter as much if you're just incorrect about the conclusion that you're coming to.
Okay. Well, then let's change that.
Skin color is not good for diversity. Did she really? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think so. But yeah. You know what they might be, because Larry Sharp from New York and Donovan Sharp live in Philly. Who knows? But they out here preying on the goddamn weak. Bruh. One more time, family. I need y'all to hear all this. One more time. I need y'all to burn this in your brain. This is the move they're going to try to use too. This is going to be the justification for ending affirmative action. Start over, goddamn.
And is coercion good then? Because my intent is good.
Well, I think you said your intent is more diversity.
Yes.
In affirmative action is diversity of skin color, right?
Yes.
I mean, is that a good thing though? Like,
In my mind, it is.
in
Right?
your mind,
When I'm creating the law of the rule of coercion, in my mind, yes, right. I'm doing it because I believe it's a good thing. Yes. So my intent is good.
Yeah, but I would say that you're wrong, right?
Okay.
So
Okay.
I don't think that the diversity on the basis of skin color, it's not good for, I'd say, society, universities, for you as an individual, right? So I think that intent in that case doesn't matter as much if you're just incorrect about the conclusion that you're coming to.
Okay. Well, then let's change that.
Okay, ma'am. Let's play. Hey, black girls, y'all rock. Y'all rock. She basically just said you guys should not be able to have opportunities afforded to you for scholarships and grant money and to get into certain programs based on the fact that you're a black girl. She's saying this in front of a black man, family. She's telling a black man that with this country holding us back, we make strides, they put more shackles on us. Any little advantage that we have, we shouldn't take advantage of it because it might piss somebody else that's a different color or a different persuasion off. That's what she's saying. They swear up and down this country is a melting pot, different cultures, different ideas, different ethnicities, different political, socio-political followings. That's what makes this country so great, that we can all stand up together under the ideals of the Constitution and the Bill of Rights and thrive in this country. That's why everybody's running here. And then she says something like that. So this tells me that y'all don't believe nothing you talking about on that side. Y'all believe nothing. Y'all believe what's hot. No, Donnie signing good morning. This girl, I'll actually say, is smarter than Pearl, because Pearl is not smart enough to realize at age 27 that she's dumber than a box of rocks. Again, I gave this girl grace. I said she could probably be recovered. I can't say that after this, but there is some intelligence there. There is some intelligence there. It's just misdirected. Pearl is just dumb. She is the dumb blonde trying to get money. But let's continue.
Let's say my intent is good and I have data. Okay. So let me give an example of say helmet laws. Now, I don't know if this is true, so I'm going to make this up just for the sake of argument. Believe my facts only for the sake of argument. I don't know if they're true. Let's say in state A.
Oh, good God. So why are you... Okay, so you're going to present her with an argument that you can craft yourself instead of you saying, since you're going to interview her, you should have had this question laid out. Why didn't you go get something that she can tangibly look up? Or she can tangibly actually have somewhat of an intimate knowledge about. You're going to make up a scenario now. All right.
They implemented helmet laws, and we now have data that shows that less people died in motorcycle accidents. So now we have data that shows that helmets laws make less people die. Again,
sir, why didn't you just use people before seatbelts were mandated in cars? More people were dying in car accidents. Then after they mandated seatbelts in cars, that people dying in car accidents went down. Why didn't you just use that? Why are you making up a scenario? Why are you making up data points? Boy, go ahead.
I don't know if that's true. For the sake of argument, that's true. So now I want to go to state B. Say, hey, look, we should enforce this law, and people don't wear helmets. We should punish them. We should fine them. If they don't pay their fines, they go to jail, because we have data now that shows that if I wear a helmet, it's safer. And now, obviously, my intent is good. I want to save people's lives. And now I have data now. Is it okay now?
No.
Why not?
Oh, I think that when it comes to something like a helmet law, it's very silly that you're punishing someone for doing something that's not going to affect anyone but yourself, right? Like you should be taking your own life or safety into your own hands.
What?
You know, I don't see why I would necessarily. I don't want to say that I don't care. I care about people's like health and safety and things, but if you want to go and ride a motorcycle at 100 miles an hour without a helmet, I don't see why you should be punished for doing something that's going to put yourself in danger.
But in my
where do they find them? Where do they find them? Where do they find them? Is this the Matrix where they come out of pods? What is going on? Ma'am, somebody ride their motorcycle at 100 miles an hour. I don't give a damn if they have on 3 helmets. They're putting other people in danger. Are you serious, Rick? She can't be serious. They can't be serious. You can't be serious. Ma'am, every time we go into our car, we're putting everybody potentially in danger. People that are driving past us, next to us, people making turns at intersections. Hell, people walking in the intersections are putting everybody else in danger. What are you talking about? You can't control what somebody thinks or how they move, ma'am. Are you insane? Oh, God.
in mind, right? When I come to law, again, I'm talking about my intent. My intent is good because I don't want you, say you're a mother of 2 children and you die. Now your children don't have a mom. So I care about your children. I care. It's for the children, right? So I care about the
Now
children.
it's
So my
about the
intent
children.
is
See what I mean?
still good. So if I hear what you're saying, even if the intent is a good intent, still no coercion.
Still no coercion.
Okay. So it sounds to me like what you're saying is this is basically a natural principle. It's a natural law.
It is.
It is.
Yes.
So always, every time, the best answer is going to be persuasion.
Persuasion, yes. Again, unless it's harm, right? Force against force. But if there's no force being committed and it's something that you're doing that's not going to harm anybody else, it should be up to you to decide how you live your life and to make those decisions for yourself. And
One more time.
Well, it's a natural law.
It is, yes.
It is.
Yes.
So always, every time, the best answer is going to be persuasion.
Persuasion, yes. Again, unless it's harm, right? Force against force. But if there's no force being committed and it's something that you're doing that's not going to harm anybody else, it should be up to you to decide how you live your life and to make those decisions for yourself. And there should be no.
So I feel like what you're saying is the idea of human respect, the idea that you have to respect them, because you've said this. This is funny. You said it. Even in the case of, I know you don't think communism is a good idea.
Yeah.
You're saying even in the idea that I'm against.
Yeah.
you still don't want to use coercion.
No.
Even so, you respect the person.
Yeah.
If I get you right.
Yes.
If you think they're wrong, you still respect them.
Yeah.
If you think they have an ideology you disagree with, you still respect them.
Yeah.
If you think they're crazy that they drive 100 miles an hour without a helmet,
Yeah.
you still respect them.
Yes.
I think that's amazing because if you show that human respect, now there's a chance for actual conversion.
Yes.
Actually changing.
Yes.
I like that a lot. Okay, so we've gone down that road. You spend a lot of time influencing people.
I try.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, yes. Attempting to influence people. Hopefully being successful.
Hopefully.
Right? Do you think it would make sense to use a message of human respect in some of the messaging? In other words, when we talked about the idea of the
No, Larry, it doesn't work. Because y'all love preaching human respect, but y'all don't respect people that have a differing opinion. You see how they lie to us? You see how they lie to us? Y'all don't respect nobody that doesn't think like you. You do not respect people that don't think like you. Hell, y'all don't even respect people that are in your circles that have a differing opinion, or they want to challenge you on something. Y'all act like y'all lose respect for them. Y'all, that's where the term echo chamber came from. Y'all surround yourselves with people that'll big you up all day and you think that's life. No, that's not life. Life is about hypothesis out here and you seeing what life brings, and you see the cause and effects of certain decisions, and you learn from that. Each one teach one. You fuck sit up here all day spewing out nonsense, and you get 99 people to agree with you. One person says, you know what? I kind of want to challenge you on that. You block that person. And you keep doing it, you keep doing it, you keep doing it until you really get pressed by somebody that has at the same or more intelligence than you, more facts, more figures, more data, and they challenge you on it. And your people cannot come save you at that point because, of course, you're the one that said it. You're the one that presented it. You're going to have to stand on it. You can't play WWE and tag them in. You're going to come back and say that people are attacking you. People don't understand my viewpoint. Why do you think they don't bring objectionable people on these platforms that are going to push back and agree with them at certain points? Because then they wouldn't have a show. And here y'all are preying on the youth because they know y'all failed. We know you failed. You know you failed. Now you're trying to get the next generation. We're not doing this. We're gonna, the new move is now we're going to eliminate y'all before y'all get too big. We're watching everything now. And this is going to be her face because I sent her the link. This is going to be her face when she wakes up and hears what I'm saying. That's exactly how she going to look.
The helmet law or the affirmative action or communism, you were very forward in saying that, well, it's wrong.
Yeah.
But if I hear initially it's wrong, then I go, wait a minute, you just said I'm wrong. Now I'm mad at you.
Yeah, there's
So, go ahead, please.
I would say yes. There's definitely persuasion techniques and things. Some that are better than others and work better on different people. And knowing your audience and how they're going to respond to certain things is
Sure.
important. But yeah, I think.
So is the idea of leading with human respect, is that a better
Why does
answer,
she
you
look
think?
scared?
Or an improved answer if you could lead more with the idea of, hey, you know what? Can we talk about some human respect first? And then once we're there, now let's talk about whether communism is a good idea or not. It's not. But whether it is or not, right?
Yeah.
Maybe that's a way of having a conversation.
Yeah, definitely. I think approaching a conversation, I guess with respect, the way that I interpret it is understanding that you have a brain.
Yes.
And your brain you have a brain that can be rational. And maybe you have some bad ideas, but I believe that if I can provide you with information and you can come to the right conclusions, not through me just calling you insults and telling you
right.
you're a terrible person or whatever, but saying, hey, let's
So
lead
people
you through
don't want to be insulted? What?
No.
Oh my God.
But yeah, leading someone through that process and helping their brain get there, because everyone has the ability to think for themselves, to think rationally. It's just sometimes providing people with those tools and with information to get there. Versus no one has ever changed their mind because someone on Twitter called them an idiot, right?
Right.
Well, if you can arm them with facts and information, then I think that everyone has the ability to, and that's how we should be approaching these issues.
Got it.
All right, so y'all heard that, family. But she mentioned the group that she's a part of. Yes, she did. The Objective Standard Institute. Y'all would be interested to see what they be talking about. Welcome to the Objective Standard Institute, Philosophy for Freedom and Flourishing. If you want to live your life to the fullest, OSI is for you. It's about the basic means to that end, rational, fact-based philosophy. Yet you just had Larry Sharp put up a whole scenario that state A and state B and their implementation of helmet laws when he could have just used car seats. Okay. Our courses, podcasts, and conferences will sharpen your mind and transform your life. Level up with OSI. It's time to thrive. Level Up 2024. Let's see. Have you announced who was going to be there? Damn. Family. Sounds like some guerrilla reporting from Kid Gravity might be showing up next year. Oh, I ain't finna pay for this. I'm gonna be outside with the camera. Oh, we might have to do this, family. I'd love to be interested in what they talking about. Lord, look at how many youth are in here. What hotel y'all at? Oh, the Hilton Atlanta. It's right off 75. Huh. Okay. Bam. Damn, they got her already. This is going to be interesting. You went to MIT. Very good, young lady. Very good. You went to MIT. You worked as a data analysis before transitioning to philosophy. Okay. Black women. Future of Diplomacy Project. Something I have to go look into. Okay. So you got two black faces. I don't see no black men. I just see no black men. Where are black men? Where are the black men? I don't see any black men. Okay, I see you, but you look like you attend. Do you have the program? Not yet. Okay. Okay. I flew for 23 hours to attend this conference. It was well worth it. 23 hours? Okay. Last year's event was one of the best experiences of my life. This year was even better. Okay. You know what? Let me be quiet. I'm finna be quiet. I'm gonna be quiet. Level Up is for people who want to live free and flourish. The theme of the conference, the thread connecting all of the lectures, is that freedom and flourishing are consequences of certain ideas that were developed over thousands of years and are still being refined today. The conference will help you to better understand and act on these ideas, to thrive in your ventures and relationships, and to support liberty on solid ground. If those are your goals, this conference is for you. We do not plan to live stream the conference. Well, why not? We know why. Content. People will go in on you. Okay. Yeah, family. I'm going to keep my eye on this. I might have to go down there. I might have to ask some of these attendees and get some footage. But yes, I think it's time to talk about, you know what, before we even do that, would y'all like to see her talk about black folks? Because you knew. What do you mean they blocking the super chats? Don't say that. I didn't even say nothing. I ain't say nothing wrong. Why would they block my super chats? Don't say that. I said nothing. Let me see. Let me see something. Let me see something. They couldn't have blocked my super chats. I didn't even say anything wrong. No, my super chat is there. No, my super chat is there, old thou. You just tried it. Let me see something. Let me check my phone real fast. You know what? I can just do it on the thing. I didn't even say anything. Where's the video? It works for me. They gave me the thing. It said error. Oh, probably yours got blocked. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Do the Cash App. Cash App's easier. You ain't got to worry about that. I think it should be on the bottom. Yeah, Cash App, Kid Gravity Beyond. Just do that. It's a lot easier. But anyway, back to what I was saying. Would you like to hear? Yeah, you know what? One thing, it might be you, but it worked before. Maybe they flagged. Maybe when they saw yours, they were like, "Oh, this motherfucker got money now. He ain't helping out no black folks." Yeah. That's just YouTube. You know how they are. But would y'all like to hear what she said about black folks? She said something about black folks.
Get that water. He about to get this work. He about to get this work.
Is becoming more and more popular in 2023. A New York Times article is calling for Black people to move. How is it that segregation is becoming more and more popular in 2023? A New York Times article is calling for Black people to move to the South to create Black majority states. The reason? They believe it will give Black people more power to influence politics. Now, who wants to break the news to them that putting a bunch of people together with the same skin color doesn't mean they're all going to agree on the same policies? Contrary to popular belief, not all Black people think the same. Like, I'm disagreeing with this writer about creating Black ethnostates. I'm sure he would rather have a white person, an Asian person, a Hispanic person, or really anyone who agrees with his political views over someone like me living in his state. It's just unfortunate that after all of this time and all of this progress that we have made towards a colorblind society, some people just refuse to see past skin color. How is it that
All right, family, you heard what she said. You heard what she said. They got their hooks into them young, family. So it's a problem when black people want to go back down south. Okay, first off, man, we've been doing this. Black folks have been doing this way before New York Times wrote that article or whoever wrote that. And this might be an opinion piece. They wrote this August 18, 2023. Man, black people have been migrating to the South for decades before that. Hell, I came down here 2.5 years before this person wrote this. The North is not profitable for black people, especially the cousins anymore. People know this. Did you forget about the numbers? I'm from New York. The numbers of people that left New York are astonishing. They had negative population growth for the first time in decades because people left. New Yorkers left to go to Florida, Georgia, Tennessee, Texas. What was the other one I saw? The DMV area. Even the DMV area. People left. They left because it's not conducive to our mental health and our financial prospects and our children. It's not worth it to stay up there anymore. Hell, my parents are talking about as soon as my last sister goes to college, they're going to move down south. Then you talked about saying how it's wrong to have black ethno states. What's wrong with that? Now, number one, we're not going to have a whole state to ourselves. That's not going to happen. There's just too many white people. But what's wrong with concentrating power in one sector of the country? They do it all over the place. There's nothing wrong with that. That's called building influence. When all these world leaders show up on our shores, they don't go to LA, they don't go to New York unless it's an event. The first place they go is DC. DC consolidated all their political power in one city. That's why most of the country's most powerful people live in the realm of government. I love how y'all think this is a problem because it's going to make white people uncomfortable. No, she is. I mean, she is an admitted LGBT. I read her Substack stuff. Oh, Cash App's not available in this country. Okay, that's weird. Okay, I mean, if you want to send me something, I don't know if you have PayPal. Oh, you want to rehear what she said, Hurricane IQ? We can play it again.
Segregation is becoming more and more popular in 2023. A New York Times article is calling for Black people to move to the South to create Black majority states. The reason? They believe it will give Black people more power to influence politics.
Well, ma'am, we're still not Black majority, but a lot of Black people in the South helped out, and Stacey Abrams ain't in office. Black people consolidated their power in the South, and Joe Biden needed, damn it.
Insult to my existence.
Sorry, folks. Him needed 3 extra days to become president. Black people consolidated their power in the South by reverse migration. South Carolina is now the #1 state for primaries, when it used to be number 3. Okay. We're not doing this today. This is a serious subject. Take that bullshit somewhere else. Thank you so much. Take that somewhere else. Anyway. I don't see a problem with that, ma'am.
Now, who wants to break the news to them that putting a bunch of people together with the same skin color doesn't mean they're all going to agree on the same policy?
Doesn't matter if they don't all agree with the same policies. They're looking at it as power. Because when the time comes, even if they're liberal or conservative, Democrat or Republican, when their liberties, like y'all love to promote, are being threatened, they're going to stand together. It's funny. Even the conservatives, for as much as the shit they talk about Black people, haven't you noticed that the prominent ones all live in the South? Yeah. I'll say that again, family. For all the shit talking that the black conservatives love to do about black folks who are on code, they all ran to the South. Tatum left Arizona to go to Texas. No, he's from Texas. He went to Arizona. I think, no, he moved back to Texas. Candace Owens left the New York tri-state area and moved to Tennessee. ABL left Virginia for Tennessee. Greg Forehead is in Memphis. Yeah. It's just funny how that worked out, right?
Contrary to popular belief, not all Black people think the same. Like, I'm disagreeing with this writer about creating Black ethno-states. I'm sure he would rather have a white person, an Asian person, a Hispanic person, or really anyone who agrees with his political views over someone like me living in his state. It's just unfortunate that after all of this time and all of this progress that we have made towards a colorblind society,
Ma'am, the same colorblind society did what they did last weekend. The same colorblind society did what they did in Uvalde. The same colorblind society did what they did in Buffalo. The same colorblind society did what they did back in January in California. Same colorblind society did massacres of black people all over the country. The same colorblind society literally enslaved another race of people on these shores and in the Caribbean. The same colorblind society that you're caping for at one time or another did not accept your persuasion, ma'am. Oh, we gonna go there now, family. That same colorblind society thought y'all were pariahs, ma'am. It took a gay man in San Francisco to change the thought process of people and your persuasion on the world stage before he was deleted. Bye-bye. Okay. Mwah. All right. So I don't want to hear about no colorblind society. The colorblind society don't like you, man. You talking real good right now. Say something they don't like, you know, to spark a conversation and see how much that colorblind society really likes you. Because I see what you're doing. You're trying to say it's us. It ain't us. We want to just be left alone. Let us live our lives. Let us compete on the world stage. Let us raise our families. Let us have a day in the sun where we don't have to feel like we have to go combat something. And everybody else would be fine with it. But nah, y'all want to keep needling us. Okay, keep going.
people just refuse to see past skin color. How is it that segregation?
Yeah, I guess, Torian, I guess. You know, one of the most dangerous cities in America, everybody going there because Tennessee got no state tax, no state income tax, I guess. And you could get good barbecue, I guess. You know, they got that nasty Memphis rub. That's right, I said it is 901, get at me. So that's what she said about black people. But let's go see her over here. How she escaped the cult of non-binary. I don't even know what that means, but okay. Okay. Fair use. That's her boss, Brad Palumbo. He had a lot of things to say about woke. I'm not even going to delve into that. That might be a separate live stream with maybe Blacklight and Torian want to get in on it, or whoever else. Maybe we'll make it an open panel. We'll just listen to them talk about woke. But let's see what she said. Fair use.
X non-binary, which I'm assuming means at one point you identified.
Whoa, it's not YouTube proofed. My bad. I am not catching a copyright.
As non-binary. Take us back to the beginning of that story. When did it begin? How old were you?
So yeah, I was first introduced to the concept of non-binary in high school. My high school had a lot of
Fam, I put it on 1.5 and they still sound normal. The hell's going on?
affinity group, diversity, DEI department type of things. And so
Where was this? Where was this?
This was in Dallas, Texas. Yes. I actually went to a religious high school, but we still had our DEI training that we had to do. And we kind of starting young in high school, I was introduced to the idea of just accepting whatever everyone says about themselves. We had training on using people's pronouns and respecting people's gender identities. I wasn't really introduced to the specific concept of non-binary though until I was in college. It was where I first met people who were non-binary, and that was where I was first told, you might be non-binary and you should start identifying this way because you fit some criteria, but also no criteria. And there's no real definition of non-binary. It's just anyone who wants to use the term. And I was told that I should use the term. And I kind of went along with it, and that was the beginning of my journey.
What were the criteria that are also, there are no rules, but also there are some. What exactly made people think you might be non-binary or that someone was non-binary?
So for me, it was starting with, I was a tomboy growing up. I was really interested in more masculine things. I was into like sports and superheroes and all the stuff that was traditionally like boyish when I was younger. And going into college, I was less interested in pink and wearing dresses and things. I wore a lot of more masculine clothing. I'm bisexual, so I was, kind of in that LGBT space when I started college. And so this was a lot of people said, well, have you ever considered that you might be non-binary because you kind of don't fit these more stereotypical.
So people actually brought it up to you, like you might be.
Yeah, it wasn't something that I kind of came to. I had a few people suggest to me that I might be and I should look into it more. And I think that for them, it was the people that I was around identified as non-binary for those reasons. And so they felt like, well, if that was why they identified as non-binary, then I also must be non-binary. And there definitely was this kind of the way that almost it was explained to me was like, for me to validate them, I had to identify as non-binary or else I couldn't legitimately see them as non-binary. And since I was supposed to accept what everybody else says about themselves, I also have to accept that onto myself. And so it was a very confusing time when I was trying to avoid being a bigot. I was trying to be a good ally. I was trying to, all of these buzzwords. I was trying to be what I thought was a good person, but it led me to adopting this identity that I couldn't even explain or describe myself.
And nobody's allowed to question you and ask you to, because that would be deeply offensive and problematic. But I find this really interesting because you say like you wanted to be nice and you didn't want to be bigoted and you wanted to be tolerant. And I think a lot of us have felt that way at one point or another. Like, why not, just go along with what people say or whatever? There does have to be a limit to that at some point. But what I'm very curious in is this is all done in the guise of not wanting to be offensive, not wanting to hurt anyone's feelings. Yet at the same time, it also seems deeply rooted, the entire concept of non-binary, the push for non-binary activists, the way they describe what it means to be non-binary, it all feels very rooted in gender stereotypes, like a tomboy or a masculine dressing woman, or these things means you're not really a woman. See, I almost think there's a degree of gender essentialism to that worldview, whereas like, I think people are male and female, but that really a lot of the stuff we attach to gender is not really related, like male clothes or female clothes. Like, well, in different cultures that means different things. And if there's a woman who dresses butch and doesn't, and likes sports or whatever, that doesn't mean she's not a woman. It just means she's more masculine, and that should be fine. And a tomboy or whatever, it doesn't mean they need to have non-binary pronouns or whatever, or be a part of some group. But I guess I'm wondering, like, why do you think it is that people can't just be fine being non-conforming in that way and have to put this new label on it? Or is it part of the kind of, at least when I was in college, it was kind of like a victimhood was a form of social currency, right? So how marginalized are you? You don't want to be the straight white male because everyone will roll their eyes and tell you to check your privilege in the classroom discussion. It's like, so is it?
I can't listen to this, family. I can't listen to this. What is he talking about? What is he talking about? I don't know what she's talking about. I have no clue what they're talking about. I tuned out. When he started asking that question, I tuned out. Let me critique it. He's a bad interviewer. He ain't get to the point. I can't do it. I can't do it. Okay. That was her history, family. That was her history. Did you think that was it? Did you really think that was it? Come on, family. Y'all know me better than this. We found other things. Yes, we did.
Get that water. He about to get this work. He about to get this work.
We found the TikTok. We found the TikTok. Oh, the internet is such a cavalcade of information and content. We got Jordan Neely. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. I have not seen these, family. I found the TikTok because I was trying to find out her wiki. I think she said she's from Texas. I found the wiki. I didn't find it. I was looking for it. The TikTok came up. I said, let me see what we got going here. Here's the video where she went viral on Twitter with about Jacksonville. And I was moving down. She was talking about student loan forgiveness, affirmative action. We already heard her stances on that. Let's see how much views she got on that. Then I saw this. I'm curious. She got almost 1 million views on that one. I want to see what she said.
So a black man gets murdered in New York for the crime of being loud in a subway.
Go watch this creator's whole video for her full context, but let me just clarify that by being loud, she means that this man was yelling at passengers on the train that he was going to harm them and wasn't afraid of going to jail doing so. So 3 men on the train of all different races tried holding him down to protect the passengers from this aggressive man. And unfortunately, yes, he was unalive by being put into a martial arts hold that is typically non-lethal. But this is a very clear-cut self-defense case and not a lynching, as she says later on. And it doesn't matter the race or the wealth of the person who's doing the threatening. So how do we prevent something like this from happening again? Well, this man had 44 previous arrests, mostly for being violent. Someone like that should never have been allowed to freely run through the subway terrorizing people.
So a black man gets murdered in New York for the crime of being loud in a subway.
Go watch this creator's whole video.
I'm
for full
fucking
context,
done.
but let me just clarify that by being loud, she means that this man was yelling at passengers on the train that he was going to harm them and wasn't afraid of going to jail doing so. So 3 men on the train of all different races tried holding him down to protect the passengers from this aggressive man. And unfortunately, yes, he was unalive by being put into a martial arts hold that is typically non-lethal. But this is a very clear-cut self-defense.
Ma'am, he was a trained Marine. What are you talking? Ma'am, I can put you in a chokehold and you could still be alive. This man had training and choked that man out for more than 5 minutes. Fuck it. Fuck it. I was going to debut this on Monday. Fuck it. I was going to wait till Monday. We got ourselves something that I created, family. I was going to save this for Monday when I go after Black MAGA, because this right here, what y'all looking at, this was just part 1. Part 2 was me going after MAGA on Monday. I know it's Labor Day, and I, as you know, Jamaican, I should be celebrating, but we gonna get to work. I was gonna save this, and I said, you know what? After hearing what she just said, I can't let her get away with this. I can't. No, baby girl, no. Because statements like this, you see how she almost got 1 million views on that. You're telling people that it's okay to kill Black folks if they yell. Nah.
God damn it! You can't make this shit up.
Shout out to Beatzilla.
No medicine, there'd be no mayonnaise. No medicine, there'd be no mayonnaise. No medicine, there'd be no mayonnaise. No medicine, there'd be no mayonnaise.
You really just sat up there on your TikTok and said that he deserved what he got. That's essentially what you just said. He deserved what he got. So we're going to kill the mentally disturbed now. All right. Got it. Clear-cut case of self-defense. Self-defense? Self-defense. Do you understand what self-defense means, ma'am? That means you're defending yourself against harm being brought onto you. Ma'am, witnesses, video, testimonies. People said he passed Daniel Penny. How was he? Ma'am, again, I'm going to slow down because I'm getting animated. I'm going to slow down. Ma'am, witness testimony from not one, not two, not three, multiple people that were on that train said even though Jordan Neely was yelling and being aggressive, he passed Daniel Penny. He gripped him from the back. Pause. How was that self-defense? They didn't get into a fight. They weren't arguing with each other. Daniel Penny got up off his seat and choked that man from behind. Y'all can spin the story any way you want. That's consistent. But this is what we're doing. This is what we're doing. Him saying, I don't care if I go to jail, that warranted somebody to sneak him. Because y'all are the same group of people who don't like it when people get snuck in fights. But it's okay to sneak him because he's black. That's what you're saying. So by your logic of you putting this up there, you're already married to the idea that it's okay to delete people when they don't expect it. Got it. Got it. Oh, you had to throw this out there. Of course you did.
You're young. You'll discover what America is really about. It's just a matter of time. You can go read the entire thread that this comment came from, but this commenter claims that because of my skin color, I 100% definitely will be a victim of racism and oppression at some.
No, ma'am. That's not what this person means. See, you see how they just go back to skin color, but remember, she ran in front of Larry Sharpe and said that skin color of diversity is wrong. Ma'am, that's not what this person means. This person is saying you don't understand how this world works because you're young, not because you're black. See, he didn't even say anything about your skin color. His first word was you're young. You don't know how this world works. Hell, when we were your age, we still didn't know how this world worked. As you get older, you figure out the world. All these thoughts that you guys are having and you get to project online for these idiots out here, they know how the world works. That's why they're egging you on. They're setting you up to be intellectual victims. You're young, ma'am. You're in your 20s. You haven't experienced the world. You were home for 17 years. Then you went to MIT. You were insulated in a college bubble in Boston, one of the most racist cities in the country. But you didn't see that, right? That's what you're going to tell me if you ever talk to me. You didn't see it. Now you're going around at these quote unquote think tanks, making speeches and having interviews. being safe, sitting in a bubble. Come out in the world one time. Really experience the world for about a week. Because again, if they would have had their druthers, your ass wouldn't have been able to go to MIT. As smart as you are.
At some point in my life. So I grew up in a majority white conservative part of Texas.
And there
went
it
to a
is.
majority white conservative school.
And there it
And
is.
before anyone makes any assumptions, I was super woke back then. I had a small group of friends who were all super left-leaning. I was super involved in my school's DEI program and organizing affinity groups based on race. Then I went to a majority white and Asian university where I was very active in anti-racist activism, looking for racism everywhere.
Again, you were in Boston. You gonna tell me you ain't seen no racism? All right. Now you want to say you saw racism. Okay. Boston.
And yet in my 23 years on this earth, I have never been a victim of racist oppression. I've never been stopped from doing anything because of my race. I've never even experienced racism from white people. So my question is, at what age do I become a victim? Is it at 25, 26, in my 30s, in my 40s? Because I have two successful Black parents who also have not been prevented from doing anything they want to do because of their race. And they have lived all over the country. They travel a lot and they've never experienced this oppressive racism.
And there you go, family. There you go, family. There you go. If you have two successful parents, you won't experience racism. That's the rule. That's the rule. If you're a Black person and you have two successful Black parents, you ain't gonna experience racism. That's the rule. Well, ma'am, the person that is critiquing what you're saying right now comes from a house with two successful Black parents. And guess what, ma'am? I've been stopped and frisked 3 times. I've been pulled over just because my car was a certain age. I've been arrested. I've had cops call me the N-word to my face. Hey, do me a favor. Hey, come to New York with me one day and have them cops stop and frisk you, make you take everything out of your purse, everything out of your pockets. Them, oh, this will be a great one because you're a female. They got to go call a female cop to go through your hair. Because that's a beautiful thing to watch have happen to a Black woman on the street. Cop with blue gloves on going through your hair, thinking you have contraband in there. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. You've never experienced racism. You act like you've never seen it. Oh, let me guess, because you haven't experienced it, it didn't happen, right? You're 23, so you were born in 2000. So you were patently aware of what happened with Trayvon Martin because you were in middle school. And you're not about to tell me in your white conservative town in Texas, they weren't talking about Trayvon Martin. They weren't talking about Freddie Gray. They weren't talking about Eric Gardner. They weren't talking about Anton Sterling, Philando Castile. Ma'am, you're 23. Tatiana Jefferson died in your state. You gonna tell me that wasn't racism? A white cop sneaking around her property, shooting in her window? That wasn't racism, right? Ma'am, you're from Texas, correct? You just admitted this. Charles L. Williams, last February, driving home, had a shootout with the police. Now, you're probably saying to yourself, how is that racism? Him and the Black cop were coming to an understanding until the white female cop started antagonizing that man. Tulsa, Oklahoma, ma'am. Walter Scott, look him up one time. That man got shot in the back. Jalen Walker, look that up one time. Tell me that wasn't racism. Oh, let me guess. You're going to tell me he did something wrong, right? Okay, fine. He did something wrong. Let's just say, well, we'll give you that. He did something wrong. Did that warrant 94 shots at him, including him on the ground dying or dead, still being shot at? Yeah, that's not racism, right? Torian can send you the link on Twitter. He could show you the Black Massacre series. 31 episodes. Go ahead and tell us that wasn't racism. Oh, that's right. You didn't experience it. You didn't experience it. I think you didn't experience it, ma'am, because the people that you were hanging around, they didn't want to come off as racist. You gonna tell me all them friends you grew up with, not near one of them ever said something racist? White conservative Texas town didn't say anything racist. Okay.
No, I'm not saying that racism doesn't exist. There are people in every demographic who have silly ideas about skin color. But these people who are being racist should be dealt with as individuals. Not every Black person experiences racism, and not every white person is racist. It is just a fact that in this country, success is mostly determined by hard work and good decision-making rather than race.
She's got to be kidding me, right? She can't believe what she just said. How many successful Black people have had their livelihoods taken away? Ma'am, you're 23. You saw exactly what happened to Kyrie Irving. He tweeted out a link and damn near almost got his whole livelihood taken away. That's racism. Ma'am, okay, fine. I'm going to get in trouble. I don't care. Ma'am, Kyrie Irving almost lost his livelihood. Don't you think now it's any wonder why yesterday Ban the ADL was trending? Because that was the main group and Jonathan Greenblatt who tried to ruin that man's life. You're going to tell me that wasn't racism? Because he dared think differently? That's racism. Which y'all say that people should have diversity of thought. At least that's what, when you were talking to Larry Sharp and them, that's what you're trying to promote. And your OSI, that's what they're trying to purport. You literally watched a Black man, and Kanye, even though Kanye a little weirdo at times, but you watch an organization, ma'am, try to ruin two Black men's lives. But you're gonna say there ain't no race. There's racism, but because I didn't experience it, it really wasn't racism. And success is mostly determined by hard work and good decision making, which those two brothers did. And they got their livelihoods taken away because somebody got offended by what they did or said. That's racism.
Hard work and good decision-making rather than race. And that's something that should be celebrated. But what will hinder success is going through life with a victim mentality and looking for racism everywhere. And
bullshit, because we've seen victim mentality be weaponized and people gotten on TV because of it. Ma'am, you're weaponizing victim mentality right now. You may be railing against it, but ma'am, you got over 800,000 views on this video. I'm sorry, on the Jordan Neely video. You got 843,000 views on it. You weaponized victim mentality. Now, that young lady was right. And she probably shut off the comment thread because the white supremacists came over there. But okay. Torian said, can you elaborate on that ban the ADL thing? Well, I can. Yesterday, the ADL trended hashtag ban the ADL because remember when I did that live stream and I showed that the one with Al Sharpton and Kamami, and he mentioned that the ADL was one of the organizations that were part of the march on Washington. I guess they were sponsoring it. People started calling them out on Twitter over that. They're like, how the hell can you be on a march on Washington that is for civil rights, but you sat up there and tried to ruin Kanye and Kyrie Irving's lives? Two black men. That screams hypocrisy. And ban the ADL was trending. Now, we might not have seen it because they got rid of that hella quick. I'm gonna see if the tweets are still up. Yeah, they still got the tweets up. Yeah, see, they just, this was all yesterday. People were going in on them. But you're right, Kiyah. We got it wrong, right? We just victims out here. You right. What else you got? Teaching real history. Oh Lord.
Will you teach your kids about slavery, Jim Crow, treatment of Native Americans and women 100 years ago, or is that victim teaching? Yes, I'm going to teach my kids history. I'm going to teach them that our country isn't perfect and never has been. I'm also going to teach my kids that slavery has existed against every demographic in every country.
Okay, ma'am, unless you have mixed kids, you should, oh God. Ma'am, unless you have mixed kids, you shouldn't be, that shouldn't be as big a focus as what happened to people here. The Africans they brought over here. That should be the focus as a black parent. Because that's going to go a long way for them to understand where the hell they live and where the hell they're growing up at. Look at this. CRT doesn't teach real history. It teaches a political motivated sliver that is intended to divide us. Ma'am, the motherfuckers already divided us. What are you talking about? They weren't out there in the fields with us, with the predecessors, the ancestors. They weren't out there in the fields with them working. They weren't there. They were being middle management and CEOs cracking a whip on black folks, on your people. If you're from this soil, which I don't think you are, but even. How is it politically motivated? It's in the books. If it wasn't politically motivated, why would DeSantis sit up there and say that it was a benefit? Why would he allow that on page 6 of his curriculum?
And is always bad, as well as the fact that people of all demographics were against slavery and fought to.
Bullshit. You see how she lies already? All people of every demographic was against it. Great. Are you going to teach your children that there were people in them same demographics that were for it?
To end it, even in the US. I will teach them about Jim Crow and legal segregation and how it was bad, and I will also teach them about
teach them about legal segregation. But you had a problem with black folks going back down south to be in black ethno states. That's what you said, but I just call it enclaves because, again, we don't have the numbers to create our own states. Not yet. Isn't that considered legal segregation too? Huh? Continue, ma'am. Yeah, I cut you off. Go ahead.
How people from all races came together to end it. In general, I will teach them that treating people poorly is bad and that we should learn from history so that we don't repeat those mistakes. What I'm not going to teach them is that any one demographic is morally inferior or superior to any other one, or that they're victims because of their skin color. Because they're going to be born into a country that will give them every opportunity to succeed as long as they work hard and don't fall into the victim mentality that critical race theory teaches.
Critical race theory. I get this. This was made in May. I get it. Even to Satan doesn't even say CRT anymore. What is this?
So I get comments like this a lot, basically asking, why are you trying to defend your right to protect yourself from a military with vastly superior equipment to yours? Let me try to reframe this so that people understand. Let's say that a 4'10" woman is afraid of her 6'8" boyfriend who has a history of domestic violence. So she decides to go and buy pepper spray to protect her.
Why are you with a man who has a history of domestic violence? I don't even want to hear this. I don't even want to hear this. I don't. Oh, God.
Let's break down this definition of woke. So those of us who are critical of wokeness know that woke people think they're aware of societal issues. The problem is that most of these issues that they're aware of don't actually exist. Misinterpreting statistics that show differences between demographics does not prove that there's some sort of massive oppression against different groups of people.
Continue.
Now, individual instances of irrational discrimination do happen. But if the person being discriminated against is part of a group that woke people feel deserves it, they will just ignore it. And if the person being discriminated against is part of a group that they feel doesn't deserve it, then they will blame an entire demographic of people and try to punish them for the actions of the person doing the discriminating. And that's where the dichotomy comes in. Everyone is sorted into either oppressed or oppressor, and that determines whether woke people feel the need to call out when they're discriminated against or treated poorly. So yeah, we're using the word woke to describe the same mentality. It's just that people don't like when it's criticized, so they'll throw down an Uno reverse card to pretend like what we're talking about doesn't exist.
She's not serious, right? She can't be serious. I'm play it again. She can't be serious. This is a rib. We're being ribbed.
Let's break down this definition of woke. So those of us who are critical of wokeness know that woke people think they're aware of societal issues. The problem is that most of these issues that they're aware of don't actually exist.
You sure about that? Because I again, family, we know what woke means. We know who or what she's talking about when they say woke. We do. We do. They're talking about black folks who are on code. Oh, no. I'm going to reach out to this girl. She got to come talk to me. She got to I got to see if she's really about this life.
You bring him here. Right here. Do you hear me? Right here. What? You heard what I said. Just do it.
Ma'am, you really about to tell us black folks that are on code are not aware of what's going on out here? If we were not on code and aware of what we'd be out here, there'd be a lot less of us. We have saved lives out here. We have put the family on paths to make them think. Okay? Some of us have swayed our parents to understand that white supremacy exists. I'm a perfect example of that. I got my own mother to think about white supremacy, and she's in her 50s. My mother never thought about white supremacy. She was that good old Christian. We're all, hey, we're all alike. We're all gonna have to go see the same maker one day. Now she over here railing on white people when they do something out of line. She's patently aware of what's going on out here now. I like to think she's better for it. I'm not around her like that, like I used to be. But I've seen, when I saw her last year, I noticed a different aura about her. Hell, she texted me one day about something that white people did, and she was outraged. And it wasn't none of this Christian stuff. That's what being on code means. You coming up here talking about woke. Y'all don't know what woke is. Y'all don't even understand the concept of woke. That's why you follow behind white folk when they talk about it. And it's interesting that y'all still talking about woke when y'all had one of your minions, Bethany Mandel, go on film in front of a black person, black woman to be exact, and try to define woke. And she, era 304, I'm sorry, era 404. Even though she had multiple copies of her book back there, she could have easily just pulled one up and had the definition there. Ma'am, when they're talking about woke, let me explain to you how this works. So again, you're 23, so you may not understand this yet. You will. When they talk about woke, yeah, they're talking about you too. Because I guarantee you the way that the Caucasian persuasion moves, they're going to start saying in a year that you're woke, because they get to change their ideologies based on who's in the White House. They get to change their ideology based on the people that they follow, what they tell them. That's why I've said in the past, white liberals and white conservatives, they'll change their ideologies based on the issue. When they get tired of y'all, they're going to click up. They're going to say you're woke. Even though you sound like a conservative and a good one at that, you're woke. Don't believe me? Go look up Amazing Lucas's story arc. Hell, they're doing it to ABL now. They're starting to criticize him. But all right. You got it? No, Blacklight, we're going to be nice. We're going to be nice. All right, 1,000.
Misinterpreting statistics that show differences between demographics does not prove that there's some sort of massive oppression against different groups of people. Now, individual instances of irrational discrimination do happen. But if the person being discriminated against is part of a group
this is what she said. Individual. Play that. Say that again. Individual instances of irrational discrimination do happen. Individual. So she's keeping this 1v1. What? What? Oh, Buffalo was an individual instance of racism, of irrational discrimination, right? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Right. Okay.
Of irrational discrimination do happen. But if the person being discriminated against is part of a group that woke people feel deserves it, they will just ignore it. And if the person being discriminated against is part of a group that they feel doesn't deserve it, then they will blame an entire demographic of people and try to punish them for the actions of the person doing the discriminating.
Because that same group will not call out the person that did it as a collective. Over 70%. They won't call it out. But I noticed that whole exchange she just had, it did sound like this.
It's a round. It's a rap for you round. And a rap for your round. I'll let a round rap around every rap around till it's rap around. This rap around. I'll rap around a round rap. I'll let a round rap around round. How you gonna get around that?
She almost tripped herself, family. She almost tripped herself up.
And that's where the dichotomy comes in. Everyone is sorted into either oppressed or oppressor, and that determines whether woke people feel the need to call out when they're discriminated against or treated poorly.
What?
So yeah, we're using the word woke to describe the same mentality. It's just that people don't like when it's criticized, so they'll throw down an Uno reverse card to pretend like what we're talking about doesn't exist.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I don't even know what she just said at the end.
No medicine, there'd be no mayonnaise. No medicine, there'd be no mayonnaise. No medicine, there'd be no mayonnaise. No medicine, there'd be no mayonnaise.
What are you what did she just say there? Oh, Lord have mercy. Oh, look.
Today, the Supreme Court ruled against Harvard in their affirmative action case and has set the precedent that universities receiving government funds cannot discriminate in the admissions process based on skin color.
And they found workarounds for that.
Now, this is an obvious win for those of us who are opposed to government-sponsored racism. However, there...
Ma'am, you do know Harvard, the school that you were near, gets $30 billion in endowments. You do know this. They have $30 billion in endowments. Actually, it's even more than that. You think that's all government money? What about University of North Carolina? They get billions in endowments. You think that came from the government? Them type of schools don't need government funding. If the government cut off UNC's funding right now, they'd be fine. If the government cut off Harvard's funding right now, it'd be fine. Hell, ma'am, let me go look up, see, you from MIT. Let me see how much endowments y'all get. Because I'm pretty sure if they cut it off, y'all be fine. Well, good goddamn. Well, good goddamn. I think your school would be fine. $24.6 billion. I think your school would be fine. Good goddamn. In the middle of Boston. I think you guys would be fine. Hell, your school only lost 5.3% last year. Now, I know that's probably $1 billion plus, but still, I mean, you're still sitting pretty at 24.6. This amount would be what he would ask Congress to give him to send to Ukraine on a bad day.
There are some people who see racial equality under the law as a step backwards in the fight to end racism. If you are one of these people, if you are opposed to this ruling, if you believe that the color of someone's skin tells you anything about who they are as a person, what they have been through, or what they have accomplished, you are not a liberal, you are not a progressive, you are not on the right side of history, because somehow you have convinced yourself that racial discrimination is a good thing.
I'm here to tell you right now, We don't care.
Let me tell you.
We don't care.
Who cares?
Ma'am, I'm finna help you out. I'm finna help you out. I'm finna help you out.
Tells you anything about who they are as a person, what they have been through, or what they have accomplished. You are not a liberal. You are not a progressive. You are not on the right side of history.
Bullshit. Because they use our skin color every day to judge us. Ma'am, you're a bisexual Black woman. Trust and believe, before you're bisexual, they're going to look at your skin color. They don't know nothing about you. They don't know nothing about you. If you walk down the street right now, you walk down the street, guess what the first thing they gonna say? They ain't gonna say it out loud because they too scared to go do something. The first thing they gonna do is look at your hair, ma'am. And it's funny I said here, family. It's funny I said here. I don't want to hear nothing else she talking about. It's funny I said here.
So this is a really common comment that I get when I talk about cultural appropriation, that, well, before the Crown Act was passed, people couldn't wear dreadlocks or braids, and therefore white people shouldn't be able to wear dreadlocks or braids. So the idea that the Crown Act allowed people to wear dreadlocks or braids isn't true. The Crown Act was proposed in 2019. I had both dreadlocks and braids before 2019. A lot of people wore dreadlocks and braids before 2019. It was not illegal to wear dreadlocks or braids before 2019. And as I said in my last video, yes, there were situations where people were irrationally told that they could not wear their hair a certain way.
Irrationally told? Who told them they couldn't wear it, ma'am? See, I love how y'all don't tell the full story. Who told them they couldn't wear it? Ma'am, why are they proposing this law to go federal? Why? Why? I love how you made this a white issue. Family, this is what I mean. Somebody said misinformed. Ma'am, do we have to go back down that rabbit hole? Do we have to do that? Oh boy, this will probably be the last thing I do because I got to get to the plantation. Okay, ma'am, let me explain something to you how life works. It would be very incumbent on you just to go on DuckDuckGo and put in the Crown Act and do 5 minutes of research. 5. Ma'am, okay, you want to talk about white people and dreads, which is a very small number, but okay. Ma'am, I'm on the Crown Act website. This is not a white woman, ma'am. This could be your sister. This could be your cousin. Dare I say, this could be your girlfriend. Look at her hair. Kind of looks like yours. Creating a respectful and open world for natural hair. The Crown Act was created in 2019 by Dove and the Crown Coalition in partnership with then State Senator Holly J. Mitchell of California to ensure protection against discrimination based on race-based hairstyles by extending statutory protection to hair texture and protective styles such as braids, locks, twists, and knots in the workplace and public schools. Who the hell are they talking about? Because last I checked, braids, locks, twists, and knots were not predominantly used by white women, even though they're going to be the biggest beneficiaries of this if it goes federal. This was a law enacted to protect y'all, to protect Black folks, because we have the different hair texture. That's why. This ain't an issue about white women. If it was an issue for white women, they would have been on the front line with you. They weren't on the front lines with you. When Newsom signed that law, who was on the stage when he did it? Black women and a black man. The hell are you talking about? Why did the law get accelerated to his table? Because everybody saw that black kid in Jersey get his dress cut off before a wrestling match. And he had twists. Five minutes of research. 5. Who is the biggest champion of this in Congress? Ayanna Pressley, a woman suffering from alopecia, who is bald-headed now. She fought the hardest for this. Five minutes of research would have told you all this.
But the solution to this mistreatment is not to continue mistreating people for the same reasons. It's like the pattern that you see where people who were bullied become bullies because they're trying to regain some sense of power, and so they mistreat other people in the same way they were mistreated. That's just not how you solve these problems. It just continues a cycle of mistreatment. The solution is to stop mistreating people, to stop judging people irrationally based on their hair choices, and just to let people wear whatever styles that they want.
That would be a beautiful thing, ma'am, except the rest of the world don't let us do that. They'll let the Caribbeans have dreadlocks all day because they'll say that's their culture, but somebody that was born here wants to have dreadlocks because their hair is long. They're going to get looked at. Why do you, ma'am, let me ask you this. How come on black TV shows, how come it was only the black TV shows that had people in dreads? Ma'am. Because them white shows have black people on there. They would use people with dreads or twists or locks to be the comedy of the episode or the show. Whenever they allowed that. But most times when you see us on them screens in them predominantly white shows, what do they got? Straight hair. Living Single had to do a whole goddamn episode because some coon at Kyle's workplace didn't like his hair. I know you're going to tell me that's wrong. That's the situation we live in, ma'am. You, as outside of anybody, the way you rocking right now, should understand that your hair is your identity. And you got the nerve to bring white women into this. Nobody cares about white people wearing dreads. People look at white people with dreads and be like, what the hell? They see you with your hair, they be like, ooh. Ew. They ain't say white people hair wasn't unkept. They said that they were alternative. They see you with your dreads. They think your hair dirty. They see black women with her hair. They ready to touch it. I don't see them saying they going to touch white people hair. This is very disingenuous, man. I'm ashamed that you said this. Here we go. This will be the last one I use.
I may suggest that people may be more responsive if you use your own words rather than plugging words like wokeness that carry external weight. Now, I get a lot of comments like this saying that I shouldn't use the word woke. What I never hear is what word I should use to describe the ideology that claims 1, everything in existence exists neither in oppressed or oppressor dichotomy. 2, the proof of this oppressed and oppressor dichotomy exists. This is a response to a video where I reacted to the Canadian Cancer Society's.
Hold on. Why did you do that?
I may suggest that people may be more responsive if you use your own words rather than plugging words like wokeness that carry external weight. Now, I get a lot of comments like this saying that I shouldn't use the word woke.
She's 23,
What I never
Spidey.
hear is what word I should use to describe the ideology that claims 1, everything in existence exists neither in oppressed or oppressor dichotomy. 2, the proof of this oppressed and oppressor dichotomy exists in group differences. And 3, the solution to closing these group differences is with equity. This mindset, it's not progressive, it's not liberal, it's not tolerant. So what word should I use instead of woke? I can call it authoritarian. I can call it controlism. I can call it ignoring factism. But I can guarantee people will be mad at me for using those words as well, claiming that they have.
So use it and have the conversation. So now she's saying woke is equivalent to authoritarianism.
Loaded meanings. The problem is the people who don't want me using the word woke don't want me using a more correct word. They want me to stop talking about the ideology altogether and claim it doesn't exist.
No, we want you to stop talking about it because you don't understand what it is. I'm done, folks. Ma'am, you don't know what it is. That's why we make fun of you white folk and well, your white folk friends and you black folks that love to talk about woke. Y'all have no clue what it is. Y'all don't understand what goes on out here. You swear up and down because white people are bigging you up and you watch news. You know what's going on out here. You don't know a damn thing. You don't go touch grass like we do. You're not out here every day in these jungles, to not use that word, but you'll understand why I use it in a second. We have to navigate through a whole lot of bullshit from everybody else just to make a living, just so we can come home every day. You don't even have that luxury, man. Because to us, that's a luxury, because they understand that looking at us, we're a problem. They understand history. They know we were on top, and it's starting to change now that we're going back on top. They don't like it. When we sit on our platforms and we sit outside and talk to people in forums like you like to do, we start hitting them with facts. They don't like that because they go verify it and find out it's true. When we call out the media for their spin on stories, now all of a sudden everybody's trying to say, hey, well, that's the way it was reported, so we're going to go with that. And all we tell them is, okay, go down that rabbit hole and come back and tell us that's the truth. And what happens? They come back up looking all harried, saying, you know what? Them black folks were actually right. Ma'am, let's play that game before I get out of here. You brought up Jordan Neely earlier. Remember how the whole world tried to say that Daniel Penny was in the right and he was trying to protect people on that train. He was a trained Marine. DeSantis gave him $1 million. He helped raise him $1 million for his Give, Send, Go. And we told people that's not the whole story. Just start going down that rabbit hole and realizing what's going on. What ended up happening, ma'am? I'll tell you, because you probably didn't do that research. Came to find out, people like me and the others in the chat and people on Twitter and Instagram, Facebook, whatever, black folks that are quote unquote woke, went in that man's history, found out he came from the cops. We declared this 2 weeks before the news declared it, because the news knew it too. But they couldn't put that out there because they know how raw people are with them cops. And then when they figured everybody started forgetting about it, then they dropped that little thing that he was from a police family. Public perception started turning on him. People started finding out about his military background and how he was discharged. People started turning on him. Now I get it, news travels as fast as you put it out, but notice nobody's talking about Daniel Penny right now. And according to y'all, he was supposed to be the media darling. He out there doing interviews, and people start listening to what he's saying, and they start twisting up their faces because they're like, I can't believe this is a motherfucker I defended. Talking about, I was on my way to Africa. You killed a black man, and you had the nerve to go on an interview and say you were on your way to visiting Africa. But we're the woke ones, right? Woke is so bad. The one demographic willing to fight for you is the demographic you don't want to align with, because you think everybody else, you'll have more friends percentage-wise with everybody else. They don't like you, ma'am. And this is a brother telling you this. They don't like you. Again, they're going to turn on you next year. I promise you this. I'm going to find out in like 6 months to a year, you're going to be doing a video on your channel on YouTube, because you have a channel, saying why you left Base Politics Podcast, why you don't associate yourself with the OSI anymore. You're going to say something to the effect that you started hearing criticisms from other people and you had to take a step back and really analyze what you've been saying all these years, all these months. And you came to a conclusion that you didn't really feel. You started, well, I won't even say you feel. You started changing the way you think because of certain situations that happened in the world. It triggered something in you. We're going to see that video soon. I give it 6 months to a year. We'll see that. But you got it. Shout out to all my woke people. Shout out to us. We know the truth. I didn't mean to do that to y'all, family, but this is what I do. I go down them rabbit holes. And usually when I get off this, my head hurts. All grift money ain't good money. It's not. But it is what it is. I'd like to thank y'all for being here with me. Hopefully you learned something. If you did, that's great. If you didn't, hey, come back Monday. Again, this was only part 1. Part 2 on Monday, when we go after Black Mag, it's going to be even better. All right, y'all. That's it. Show over. Take care, stay safe, and you know what to do when the agents of chaos try to mess up your day.